Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, mercy, and safety to all of the Akim on the highways and byways, preaching the word in sincerity and in truth, and the healthy shalom to the elect. My name is Rawai, and I'm back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, it is edifying. Title of this lesson will be Stop Expecting the Prophets to be Perfect. Okay? Stop expecting the prophets to be perfect. Okay? This title came to me a day or two ago, and I wanted to address it and address a couple of things along with it. The sincere men who are out on the highways and byways, the highways and hedges, preaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in its purest form, the 100% truth. Is a very special group of men, to say the least. But are only men. We're only men. We're in flesh. We're in sinful flesh. The scriptures say our righteousness are as filthy rags. So being that, we're preaching the words, the true gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, people would not hearken due to, first and foremost, the optics, what they see. All right? How they look at us. Because for them, a man of the Lord, for them in their eyes, is supposed to have a certain look. And that's just true. They all have been brought up, and we all have been brought up to think, to be connected with God somehow, you have to have a certain look. Well, that's furthest from the truth. We've seen pastors and preachers our whole lives, and we thought that was the way it was supposed to go. They were supposed to look a certain way, speak a certain way, and that would make them worthy of even preaching out of the Bible. But that's just not true at all. The God, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the God of the Bible, and his only begotten Son, are not dealing with today's pastors and preachers. And it's just it's wild. So when they look at the men of the Lord, a lot of us come from, different backgrounds. We all have different backgrounds, and a lot of the brothers come from, the hoods. We all come from the hood. We all come from, whether you come from the hood, grew up in America, or where you grew up in another country, is the hood nonetheless, the barrio, whatever you call it, right? We all come from humble beginnings. And with that being said, all of the things that we've done in our lives up until now, people who know you, people who don't know you, but just by the optics, they would look for perfection, and they would deem you not to be a man of the Lord, or not even worthy to preach the gospel, just based off you not looking a certain way or not being perfect, right? So I just wanted to bring some precepts out because, the prophets weren't perfect, okay? There was only one perfect when Yahweh Shai walked the planet Earth, okay, and preached and was put up on the cross to the very end. Yahweh Shah was perfect. All right, so there's no particular look. Let me read this quick definition. It doesn't really give me what I want, but I'm going to read it anyway. It says, having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as it is possible to be. It's a decent definition. It says absolute and complete. All right. And those are just the definitions are perfect. But let me get the precepts, because you are definitely blinded if you think there's any man on the planet Earth right now that is perfect. All right. And so you would miss the blessing from the prophets and miss the message because of the way that they look, and because you know that we're not perfect. So let me start here. Let me start at Romans 3:10. Romans 3:10 reads, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. Let me get this real quick. Let me go here, pull it up. Let's see if this app wants to work with me. You see? Let me see. Romans. Come on, man. Romans 3:10. I'll read it again. Just want to pull it up. So if it allows me, it's not going to let me get it. All right. Romans 3:10. It says, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. Okay? So, what makes you think these deceitful pastors that you've grown up under, these preachers, okay, these Catholic priests and all of these demons, what would give you the idea that they're righteous and they're perfect and that they're able to preach from the Bible? Well, it's because of the way that they look, and it's because of what you've been brought up under your whole life, and us as well. But we understand that it has nothing to do with the way you look. Okay, when the Lord is dealing with you, and He's actually dealing with the lowly, and the scriptures speak about that. All right. So Romans 3:10 again, it says, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. So stop looking for perfection. Okay. We are down here in our captivity. Okay. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai knows that we're not perfect. Okay. They know that we strive to be righteous. Okay. But again, our righteousness are as filthy rags. Right. So down here in hell, in our captivity, there's no way we can be righteous. Okay. But at least we strive to be. All right. And I'll tell you straight like this. The sincere men who are on the highways and byways, okay, preaching the gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, those are the most solid, stand-up, integrity, humble, loving, firm men on the planet Earth. Okay, straight like that, no doubt about it. I done met them all. I done met them all, man. I'll just leave it at that. All right. From the so-called toughest to the bitch asses too. Right. I done met them all. Don't none compare to the humility and the spirit that are in the righteous men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So while you're looking for perfection, okay, you're missing the message, and you're gonna miss the message. All right. Let me read. Let's see what I want to get next. Oh, I'll get this. Let's see if this thing allows me to roll. This is Proverbs 24 and 16. If it lets me press it. Man, you can't make this up, man. Proverbs 24 and 16. It says, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Okay, so a just man, a balanced man, okay, a man who is striving for righteousness, okay, falleth 7 times. We fall. We fall short of the glory. Scriptures say that. I'll get that, Lord willing. Okay, but we get back up again. Okay, we don't stay down and wallow in our sin in the times that we fall short. Okay, and we don't stay there. All right, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Yeah, and they'll stay there. They'll fall into mischief and stay there. All right, but when we fall, you know, we get up again, man. We get back up. We send some prayers up. We ask for forgiveness, and we keep it moving, and we keep it pushing. Okay, and we keep serving the Lord. Okay, we pray that the Lord continue to be with us. All right, the true men of the Lord are not out there committing evil, vile, and wild acts. All right, behind closed doors, in front of closed doors, that shit ain't happening to the true servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now we go off on particular things, you know, here and there. You know, we're not perfect. You may see us get into an argument with somebody and say, oh, that ain't the man of the Lord. All right? But that's just not true. Now we need to conduct ourselves in a certain way. And that's the whole thing about it. That's part of my point. You know, we do conduct ourselves after the scriptures. We follow the ways of the scriptures. All right. So we ain't out there like the average nigga. It's just not what it is. And if we get caught up in the moment, all right, we kind of went off. We got carnal a little bit, but we reel it back in. Just like Proverbs 24 and 16 says again, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. All right. So these are the characteristics of who Yahweh Shem Yahushai is dealing with in his men. All right. Let me read this real quick. Go back to Romans 3. I just quoted it, so let me get it. This is Romans 3 and 23. It says, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. All right, for all have sinned. All. Okay? There's nobody on the planet Earth that's perfect right now. That's not what it is. All right? Not one. Okay? For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. But more times than not, the people in the world, again, they look at the men on the highways and hedges, okay, is a rough, austere spirit. And they, they may hear particular language that rubs them the wrong way. Well, your definition and your view of perfection is off. Because the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the ancient times were rough. They were rough. Yahushai was rough. Doesn't mean Yahushua wasn't loving, okay? Doesn't mean Yahushua wasn't balanced, all right? But the prophets were rough, and so was Yahushua, okay? So we all have sin, man, all right? Don't expect the prophets to be perfect. They never were, okay? So you're going to have the same thing now in these times that we're in. All right. I read, okay, let me get this. This is Judges 5:11. And it reads, they that are delivered from the noise of the arches in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Okay. So we are simply rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay. In the times that we're living in. And if you pay close attention, if you met any of the prophets, you would know that to be true. Okay? We're doing our best to rehearse the righteous acts. That does not mean that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is not dealing with us. Okay? Starting with the apostles of GMS on down. Okay? Because we fall short. Okay? We're not the men that the Lord set up. Yeah, well, that could be a stumbling block set up for you. For the non-believers. Okay? Because we're here just rehearsing the righteous acts. And like I said, if you pay close attention, you would see that. Okay? Let me just read Psalms 18:30. It says, as for the Most High, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is tried. Okay? He is a buckler to all them that trust in him. Okay? So the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are perfect. All right? The word is perfect. It says the word of the Lord is tried. Okay? It's undisputed. All right? Tried and proven. Okay? Ain't no getting around that. All right? All right. Let me see. Okay, yeah, Romans 3:10. It says, as it is written, there is none righteous. No, not one. All right? No, not one. So don't expect perfection from the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We will be perfected soon, and that's what we're fighting for. All right? To be perfected. But as of right now, there's not one righteous. All right? No, not one. All right? So let me see. And like I said, it's really a stumbling block. All right? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has blinded many, and those are small things that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua would allow people to witness and see, and then turn the eye away from it, turn the shoulder away from the word, because of what they're used to seeing. All right, and what they feel is godly, which what they feel is godly is all bullshit. Because you've seen, we all grew up in the church. Look at what the church is doing. The church has been exposed. The black church has been exposed. The Catholic church has been exposed for inhumane acts against little boys and girls. All right. All these pastors are preaching for filthy lucre's sake. All right. And they're through. All right. But believe you me, the true men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are in America, on the highways and hedges, and in different countries, preaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, no matter how we look, how we sound, or how it sounds to you. All right? The Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the word is rough. It's a two-edged sword. And you're going to get it plain. Right? But if you pay attention, it's filled with love. It's filled with judgment. It's filled with the victory. It's filled with, the ways that you should walk. Okay, with structure. It's filled with guidance. It's filled with the Holy Spirit. All right. So that's it, man. That's all I got. I just wanted to bring that out. Lord willing, it was edifying. Stop looking for perfection, when it comes to the prophets. All right. We will be perfected soon. And that's our hopes and our goals. All right. So that's all I got, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. If you get anything from this lesson, please know and understand the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. The name of his only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai. Those are the names you call on now and in that dreadful day. Shalom.